Hey everyone, it's Matt Brown, and we are doing more from In Utero. This is going to be all apologies in this lesson. So this one is in the key of, if you discount the tuning, it's in the key of D major, concert pitch of D flat major. So what we're doing is we're tuning down the guitar a half step, and then we're doing the sixth string in an additional full step. So some people call this drop C sharp, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so as far as the tone goes, I always like to talk about that. So the clean parts that he's doing at the beginning of the song, the verses and all that, are it sounds like a neck humbucker. And with what he's got going on with the amp is he's on the clean channel, but the gain sounds like it's turned all the way up. So what this does is when you have the gain turned all the way up on the clean channel, it gives you like a little bit of grit to the tone when you dig into certain notes. So you'll hear some of that grit when his pick attack's a little bit stronger on the strings. Okay, so let's look at the main riff and talk about that. I'll play it once. Alright, so he's not playing this the exact same way every time he goes through it. So what you have at the beginning is you're playing a D in an F sharp, basically. So this is the 9th fret note, and that implies your D chord sound. So he's doing definitely always a low open note as well as that open string. Or he might do just the open string by itself. So that would be the option for the beginning of the measure. Versus. Alright, so sometimes he might throw in an additional low note in the beginning of that first measure, like. So on the and of 2. Or he'll put it on beat 3. Okay, so then typically the next measure you're going to have an open string with that 9th fret note. And then what you're going to do is you're going to slide on the 4th string. So that's 12, 12, 10, 9. So sliding from 10 to 12. And then you're basically back to the beginning. Alright, so let's put that much together. Alright, now if we're talking about the intro to the song, it's a very predictable thing that he does. He essentially does this. These are the 4 times before the drums come in. So the last little part right there, that's you're playing, you can play your open A and your open D, or just your open D in combination with the 11th fret, which gives you a nice D major chord. And then he's coming down to the E at the 9th fret, and then the D at your 12th fret. Now something with all of this is that you want the open strings to ring, so they're kind of, you know, like droning over each other. So to make that possible, you don't want to anchor your right hand on the bridge. Instead, you want to just anchor this part of the forearm here so that your right hand's loose. And you're not going to block any of those open strings. Okay, so now the drums and the bass are in, and we're playing as a band. So you're going to do that section again. So I realize I'm playing a little bit fast. I just want to get through it so I can explain it quickly. Alright, so then the vocals are in. And what happens during the first verse is you're only going to do the type deal the time before you go to the chorus. So the verse is the same as the intro, just on the recording of In Utero, just keep in mind that he's only doing the type idea the time they go to the chorus. And he doesn't even play the whole thing. It's just like something like that, you know. He just plays like the 11th fret and doesn't do the rest of the little melody. Okay, so for as far as tone goes for the chorus, you know, overdriven sound, and it sounds to me like he's playing this with his middle pickup selection. So if I were to play this live, to not have to switch pickups between the two parts, I'd probably just play all of this song with my middle pickup position. All right, let's move on and look at the chorus. So the first 6 measures of the chorus are just a G chord. First 5 measures are this figure. So what that is, the way he's playing his G chord sounds like he's playing, this is drop D tuning obviously, so gotta consider that. You're doing the ring finger on the 5th fret of your 6th string. 5th string is muted. Then your 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings are open. So on the majority of the beats, you're just strumming the 6th and 4th strings. And then what's happening on beat 2 and beat 3, you're strumming the full chord. So just 2 strings, and then 5, back to just 2 strings. And the same thing happens again for the second half of the measure. So he's doing that all with downstrokes. Now the last measure, the 6th measure, before we change chords, he's strumming the low 4 notes of the chord, all with downstrokes, every single 8th note. So 2, 3, 4, 2. So he's going to an A5 chord next. So the first chorus is a little bit shorter than the next one. So this A5 is, that's just open 5th string, then 2, 2, done with a bar, and then you're back into a verse. So the second verse is a little unpredictable, and I'm guessing he maybe did this on purpose, or maybe it was an accident. There's a lot of accidental things that end up on Nirvana records. So pretty much what's going on is the little end part of the riff, that's kind of thrown in ad-lib. So, you know, he's throwing it in at random. I would definitely do it the time before you go to the chorus, though, to just give that a real nice transition and lift into the next chorus. Alright, so let's talk about the second chorus. So the first 6 bars of the second chorus are the same as the first. What we get, though, is with the A chord at the end, we're going to do... So that's 2 full measures. Then we're going to strum it again and hold it for a full measure. 2, 3. And then the following measure we're going to play, so we're borrowing like a 4-string A chord, and you've got this 4th string in there and the 2nd string in there, so sort of arpeggiating the chord a little bit. So then we're going to go back to our A chord, strum that, just the A5 power chord, strum and hold that for a measure, and then the next measure we're going to arpeggiate the A chord again, strum it again, and then basically we're going to be to the outro. So with the outro, what he's doing is the first 8 times, or first 8 measures are real predictable. You've got this. So I'm going to consider that one complete time through that section. So he's going to do that one more time. So then what he does is he just alternates between the little lick on the 5th and 4th strings. And then, you know, when things start to die down and the riff ends, he just plays the low open D string to keep that sustaining to the end. What I'm guessing he did was he put the pickups real close to the amp to get lots of nasty feedback. And to keep the sustain going, you can hear there's like he's hitting the body with his fist, basically, and that gives you some additional harmonics that when you put your pickups in front of the speaker are going to give you some more. They're going to accentuate those feedback kind of harmonic-y type tones. All right, so that really does it for In Utero. You know, there's some overdubbed guitar stuff that's like really buried in the mix, like during the first chorus, and just some like muted strumming type stuff at the end of the song, but you know, not stuff that you'll really, you know, want to do if you're going to play this live with a band or something like that. So, I'm Matt Brown. If you have questions about this or want the tabs, just yell at me. Shoot me an email. My email is on my YouTube home page, or whatever you want to call it. So, hit me up. Alright, thanks guys. I'll see you around.